Absolutely. Just don't do the whole thing.
Okay.
How about you take it with mine?
It's okay.
It's a little better.
Hey guys, let's scoot over here. Let's let this tour group come on out, okay? And notice if they're happy and have lots of gold. If they're
Sorry guys, we got all the gold.
if they're whistling while they're working,
Nothing left.
nothing left. You don't know the hidden spots. They look pretty happy. Uh-oh, look at that.
There we go.
Somebody's bragging now. All right, guys, come on in here. Come on in. Let's stop right up here. Let's get everybody in right there. That's good, guys. Careful, see?
I know.
I'm watching you.
Please.
So I've signed. I've signed you guys in on a turn of the century whiteboard.
Oh yeah.
I didn't say what century.
Old school works.
Old school. This is history right here. It's called a brass board. That goes back to the late 1800s. Again, my name is Mark. Now Mark is in the mine. Okay. If this was an actual working gold mine, we would have had 2 fobs per miner. They would have taken the top one off and they would have stuck it in their pocket. Why are we sticking a fob in the pocket?
So you know whose body it belongs to?
Exactly. If something should happen in here, this would be identification of who I used to be. But the Hidee has a 100% safety record. They've never lost a miner in here. And we've never lost a guest, and we're going to keep it that way. We're making sure you guys are safe. Okay? You guys ready to have some fun?
We actually still use those at the gold mine too.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah.
I think that, like us, I mean, we could do a whiteboard, quite obviously. We like our history. And quite obviously, that's why we like it. Okay,
simple and easy system.
do you know why it's brass and not steel tabs?
I think brass is a lot more resistant to corrosion.
That's one of them. It actually goes back to old school coal mining when they had brass hammers and chisels. It didn't spark.
Oh yeah.
So, because in coal mines you've got explosive dust and gases in there, and you don't want any sparks in there going. And that's why brass goes back to that. It goes back to coal mining days. Okay?
Good job.
All right. Come on in, guys. It really is.
Let's go for some kind of dinosaur bones if there is any.
Dinosaur.
Careful.
I'm gonna look for
Careful.
that.
Who's in their head back there?
I tapped it once or twice.
It's got to be Dad.
Uh,
Come on in up here, guys. All right.
is there any dinosaur bones?
Is there any dinosaur bones in here?
Yes.
No, just me.
That's nice.
Just the old guy that's leading the tour. Okay. Let's look back at the beginning of our tunnel here. What do you see besides light at the end of the tunnel? Well, besides that,
Rocks?
is it running downhill?
A little bit.
About a 2% grade. Would it be easier to push 5,000 pounds downhill or uphill? Yep, downhill. That's the trick they had to moving these ore cars around. It's actually engineered about 2% grade all the way up to the face of the mine. So it's easier to push ore carts down the hill. This is actually a safety alcove. With the proper inspiration, you can actually get 6 miners in there. I think 5,000 pounds of runaway ore cart is plenty of inspiration to get the heck out of the way.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, okay.
And cram in tight.
Yeah, look, you're digging it down the streams and the creeks, okay? Heading for gold. It only lasted 4 or 5 years. They found most of the gold. Now they're looking, where did this gold come from? And it's coming from lode vein, underground mining, hard rock mining. So that started the hard rock mining phase of our gold rush here in Colorado.
Now, did they plate the roads with gold here, or was it just bars of gold? Or that's what I heard.
That's what you heard.
Yes.
Lady out there. Sounded like she was feeding us a line though.
Maybe.
That it was so wealthy in gold that they.
That's just a saying. No.
Okay. Okay.
So at one point in time, Central City was going to be the capital of Colorado because there were so many people here and there's so much wealth here. So yeah, the gold was going down to the banks in Denver.
Okay.
Okay.
It's just saying. Okay.
So anyway, the placer miners that were here were not good hard rock miners. They didn't have the tools and the technology to do it safely and productively. So a call went out for miners, and the Cornish from Cornwall, England came over in droves. We had a lot of Cornish They had the tools and technology to do it right and safely. But with them, they brought their superstitions. Any idea what these guys are called?
Gnomes.
Gnomes are in the garden.
Oh.
Any idea what they're called? No? They're called Tommy knockers. Have you heard that term? No? Okay. Well, the Tommy knockers were the Louis folk in the mine, the spirits in the mine. They would knock on the beams and the rocks to warn the miners of impending danger. And so the miners, again, were very superstitious. They took this to heart, okay? So they would leave good gold bits of ore and pieces of their lunch in appreciation to the Tommy knockers. Next morning, the miners would come in, everything would be jostled about, and the food would all be gone, and they just knew the Tommy knockers had taken their offerings.
The squirrels.
See all the chipmunks running out of the mine with food in their mouth, okay? Yeah. Yeah. Double jacking, you could even triple jack. You could have two guys on hammers and one guy on the steel. Now you're probably talking 2 to 4 feet a day of tunneling. Still not a lot of tunneling. So, any idea what that is, young man?
To remove the pieces of
So testing the ore?
Yes. It's called
Like the spoon.
It's called a miner's spoon.
Oh,
Exactly.
okay.
You reach in there, you bring out the dust and the chippings, and so you can keep drilling effectively. Late 1800s technology. We just found it in the mine not too long ago. There is still stuff in this mine to be found.
Oh, that's cool.
So again, we just found pieces. Keep moving there. That's just a piece of tool steel that was found in the mine not too long ago. Of course, it's broken. But again, there's stuff to be found in here.
A
Okay.
little heavy.
A little heavy. All right, buddy.
Weightlift with it.
Yeah, exactly. So let's jump up to the 1900s. Let's mechanize our drilling. And you probably have seen plenty of these guys.
Pictures of it.
Yeah. This runs on compressed air. Again, this thing's almost 100 years old. If we had compressed air, we could fire this thing up and it would run today. Okay. The early models of this thing was a beast. This thing would drill hard and fast. The problem with it emitted a ton of dust into this environment. Any idea what the main mineral is in planet Earth's crust?
Silica.
Silica, exactly. You make glass out of it. What happens when you break glass? Shatters, right? Sharp, pointy shards. Silica dust is that same way. It's sharp and it's pointy. These guys are breathing that dust into their lungs. It impacts into their lungs. They can't expel it. They get more and more. It's called rocked up white lung disease, silicosis.
Miner's lung.
Yeah, what's that?
Miner's lung.
Miner's lung. I think that more refers to black lung
Oh, okay.
and coal, but yes, same
Coal
thing.
dust.
Yeah. Guys would talk about how their chest would rattle because their breathing was so labored. And yeah, white. So now you're starting to see some intrusive metals in here. That's a gold seam. Look how small and thin it is. But that's a tattletale, okay? All three histories are right here, and that's why I just love this spot. So I come in the morning, I just kind of, well, maybe not. Okay. Anyway, we talked about the Hidee shaft, 1896. They sunk a shaft, and it's right around the corner. That is 1800 style mining right there. It's probably a hammer and a chisel, probably some black powder, early days, and then dynamite, early dynamite. So then the Pittsburgh's coming in here. They're trying to find the Hidee shaft because they had leased the Hidee gold claim. They're trying to find the shaft. That way they know exactly where they're at on the mining claim. So they come in here. They find it right here. And that's 1930s technology of mining. 1800s. You can see history, dividing line right there. Boom. So Pittsburgh comes in, they find the shaft, they're out of here. We know they didn't find any gold on this run. There's no record of them hitting any gold. There would have been side workings if they had found gold. There's nothing like that indication, okay? So they're out of here. So let's jump to 1965, and Ed, Chapo, and Maxine come in here. Chapo had worked as a young man in the Pittsburgh. He knew where the gold was at in here. Our veins run vertical in this mountain. So the first thing that they did was they pushed that wall back that way, and that's what they found, and that's the gold vein right there.
There's a bigger one around
Yes.
the corner.
That's all part of the Hidee gold vein right there. So sparklies, metallics. See some of the blues and greens in it? That's the copper coming out. Okay. And they decided to follow that vein and they pushed it that way. And there's more stories around the corner. But before we get there, this is the bucket that I was talking about earlier. It's historically correct for our shaft portion of our mine, late 1800s. Everybody's heard of canary in a coal mine?
Yeah.
No? Coal mines would bring a canary in.
Oh,
If
that's
the
a
canary
sulfur.
quit talking or singing, or if the feet were up in the air, you knew you had bad air in the mines. We didn't have that. What we had was a safety lantern. It had a flame. If the flame turned a different color, like green, you had methane or carbon dioxide in here. If the flame went way down low or it extinguished, you had lack of oxygen, and that's what's the killer in these gold mines. Is lack. In the concentrated copper vein right there. But look at the sparklies up there. Look at the metallics. This is a gold vein. This is what we're, again, if it's shiny and metallic and sparkly, that's what we're digging in here, okay? So this black spot you guys are looking at right here, that's quite obviously got silver in it, and it's also got zinc in it, and gold, okay? So Ed and Chop will come this direction. They're chasing this gold vein. They know it goes farther because there's mines on the other side of the parkway that are mining it. They hit this wall of bostonite right here. Hardest rock we've got in our area. Stops them dead in their tracks. They ruined that hammer drill trying to get the steel back out of it. Ruined it, so that's our sword, the stone, so to speak. Okay. So they know they're not going that way. So they just wheel 90 degrees and head that direction. There's two other gold veins that direction because they know because it's down below. And Chapo had been in this mine before as a kid or a young man. So before we go that direction, here's our Hidee shaft right here, guys. Go ahead, take a look. Okay. So we're down about 135 feet from the surface. There's two working levels below us, one at the 210 and one at the 320. All that wood out in the parking lot is for timbering, and we're actually going to go down to that second level this winter. And so if you get on our website, you see that there's an extended mine tour. We've gone down to the second level.
Cool.